Hey, it's Recovery Mom. Like my keychain. It was Eva's. Eva didn't want it. Oh, it was probably backwards. Anyway, I love it. Lovely. Try. Here's the funny thing about coffee when you're in recovery. When you're in recovery, first you drink Americanos, am I right? Right? Americanos if you're a Starbucks human, right? I tried going to all the local coffee shops, and honestly, I feel like one thing about Starbucks is they make your drink taste the same every time. And when I would go to the more local the local coffee little shops that I tried every one of them, it would be dependent on the human, which is fine, but also my drink always tasted different. So anyway, if I'm on my way to work and I need a drink to last the whole day, well, guess what? I just go to Starbucks and that's what I do. So first you drink Americanos, right? And then you add a little non-fat milk, and then eventually you add a little sugar, and then eventually you allow yourself to drink other drinks that have coffee, because it still feels kind of safe. For me anyway, it still felt kind of safe, and it still felt like a little bit, I don't know, not so much a little bit of eating disorder, but just a little bit of like, I need this. It was a qualifier. I'm allowed to have this Starbucks drink because it has coffee and I need coffee, right? And then slowly, eventually, I morphed away from there. And man, it is freeing. Now I have a chai. There's no coffee in there. Today, it's just chai and milk and sweet and good. And like, I used to get it with, half the sweetener or a quarter of the sweetener. Like I used to have all these qualifying things. Now I just get a fucking chai. However it comes. The other day I added coffee to it. Wasn't a super fan. If I want coffee, I'll just have coffee or something. Maybe I'll have it sometimes. But today I just want to try, and it was amazing. And I can just order whatever the fuck I want. Sometimes I get just a large steamer. Oh my God, yummy. Just a steamer. No coffee in there. I can just have the milk and the sugar if I want. Delicious. Okay, anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about today. What we're going to talk about today is I had a human, message me and say, hey, Recovery Mom, I'm having a hard time recovering. Excuse me, I should pause the video when I do that. I'm having a hard time recovering because I was eating to my extreme hunger and it got to the point where I threw up. I ate a bunch of food, I threw up. Now I'm terrified. I have, what is it called? Emetophobia, I think. So I'm terrified of throwing up, and it's preventing me from eating like large quantities of food. But they did, however, qualify that with they're still eating energy dense food, right? Calorie dense food. So here's the thing. And I just talked about this in a different kind of a video on TikTok. Here's the thing. You don't have to eat to the point of throwing up to recover. Okay. I get that like there's all these recovery counts, go all in, eat all the food, eat to extreme hunger. And that is wonderful. If you can do that, you will recover probably quicker because you're going to change that brain chemistry faster. But is it necessary? Do you have to eat that much constantly to recover? No, you don't. But here is what you have to do. You have to eat early. Have to. Non-negotiable. So you have to eat early. And that's like, I would say within 30 minutes of waking up. I used to have a bowl of protein bars that turned into candy bars on the side of my bed. I had a rule. I ate one before my feet hit the floor. You have to eat early. You have to, okay? There's some science to back that up. You have to eat often. Often. You cannot go 2.5 to 3 hours without food. I used to set alarms. Every 2.5 hours, my alarm would go off. If I hadn't eaten by then, I had to go eat. And that didn't mean go look in the kitchen and look around and find what felt good. That meant you grab the next thing you see. If that alarm goes off, game over. You're eating right then, whatever's in front of you. Then you can go make your next meal or snack, but you're eating right then. 2.5 to 3 hours. You can never, ever, ever go 3 hours without food and recovery. So you have to eat early. You have to eat often. And you have to eat enough. And what enough means is, I mean, I don't want you to count calories, but there's a lot of research around the 3,500, 3,000 calorie mark. You have to eat over that to recover. You cannot eat what will be your future maintenance. You cannot eat your maintenance now. You have to eat more than that to recover what happened to you during your malnourishment and starved state that you put your body through. So you have to eat enough. And enough might look like 6 times a day plates that look like restaurant meals, okay? That look like something you might get at like, you know, a bar after you go out at night. Or I think it was Tabitha Farr that used to say that. Or something that you might get like at IHOP in the morning, right? Those big plates of food. You have to eat enough. And enough for you might be a little less than that extreme hunger would look, but if you fill it with calorie dense foods, and if you're eating every 2 hours, if you find yourself not able to eat enough, then you need to eat more often. You need to play with that. You need to get enough food in every day. So those are the qualifiers to recover. You don't have to eat until you throw up. You don't have to go all in. I hear everybody talking about it. It's a wonderful thing. I'm not going to say it's not, but it's not for everybody. And if going all in and eating to that extreme hunger makes you feel like you're going to throw up, well, then let's not do that. Let's find a different path. And the path is eating early, eating often, eating enough, okay? And you're the only one that can make that happen for you. No one else can. No one else can find what that's going to look like within the parameters of your current life. So you need to really think about that. How are you going to make that work? And then make it work.